Now, I'm going to tell you something, folks. James Carville has warned of riots and trauma out there if Obama's up by a significant number going into the election and then loses. And if indeed the pollsters get this wrong, and if they got it wrong all along, and McCain pulls out an Electoral College victory, I hope somebody tells these rioters, if they riot, that the proper targets of their wrath are the media, because that's who's misled them all along. Folks, it strikes me. I want to try something here. Often we criticize Senator McCain, for example, in the debate. He brought up William Ayers. And those of us who watched, oh, good. But he didn't explain who Ayers is. He assumed that most people know who Ayers is. Now, for the bulk of this program and yesterday's, we have been focusing on Obama's 2001 video, just recently found, by the way, his interview with the public radio station in Chicago, where he makes it plain that he wants the Supreme Court or wants the government, somehow the legal system, to enact his notion of redistribution, socialism. And, of course, we've discussed today that some people may not know what socialism is, and some people might think it's a good thing. What's wrong with it? And to those of you who maybe now understand socialism, maybe you're not quite sure about it. And to those of you, and I know you're out there, some of you college students, and I know liberals are listening. We do not preach to the choir here, contrary to what somebody says, or the critics say. But I want to try to explain to you why this is bad, as it relates to the United States of America, by telling you what this country is and how it was founded, in somewhat of a detailed fashion. And the first thing, I'd like to ask this question again, since I have your attention. There have been populations of people organized as countries since the founding of the planet, since it was created, and since humanity first appeared. People have organized themselves in various ways, groups, families, nations. Now, the Earth and humanity, depending on who you talk to, is millions of years old, billions of years old. And throughout the history of human beings, no group of human beings has ever produced the wealth, the freedom, the opportunity, the prosperity, the security, as Americans. The United States of America, throughout human history, is the greatest nation, however you wish to define it, in history. Now, how did this happen? We, the United States of America, are just human beings. There are countries that exist at the same time we have. There are countries that existed long before we came into being. Of course, in Europe and in Asia, Africa, Australia, the subcontinents. How is it that in less than 250 years, this group of human beings called Americans has revolutionized everything about life? We've produced the greatest standard of living and shared how to do it with others. We have produced a standard of living unheard of and undreamed of, even by people who were alive 100 years ago. We have produced a country where the occupants, the residents, have the highest expectations of opportunity, security, wealth, all of these things, education, than any group of human beings has ever had. And I really would like for you to take a moment, and when you have the moment, ask yourselves how this can be. And do it honestly. How can it be? And not to besmirch some of these other countries, but just to give you an example. China, Japan, Russia, the satellite countries, Rome, Italy, take your pick, France. All these countries have been around much, much longer than we have. And admittedly, people that founded this country came from Europe. Why were they not able to do where they lived what they did here? You realize our founding fathers are Brits. Why were they not able to turn Great Britain or England into the United States when they lived there? Why did they have to leave these places to come here, the New World, in order to create this? Why couldn't they do it where they lived? As human beings, we're no better than any other human beings on the face of the earth. We're not any different whatsoever in terms of the way we're born. Human beings are human beings. How is it then that the United States has become the most powerful, and for good, the richest, the most technologically advanced, the most industrious, the most productive country in history, in human history, a nation that has liberated hundreds of millions of people from oppression, a nation that has, talk about sharing the wealth, a nation that has rebuilt Europe after World War II, a nation that turned Imperial Japan into a thriving, burgeoning economic power of a democracy. We are a nation that rebuilt Germany after World War II. All the while continuing our own growth. We are a nation that invented so many of the things that have improved the quality of life for human beings around the world. We are the nation, the one nation that can and offers substantive relief efforts to other nations devastated by natural disasters. How does this happen? When we're no better than anybody else, when we're no different than anybody else, how does this happen? The answer is very simple. Without being too esoteric about it, freedom is the answer.